I title my talk today, Feeling Unappreciated. My scripture today comes from Jeremiah 45, verses 1 through 5. But I will read only verse 5, and it reads, And seek thou great things for thyself? Seek them not. For, behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, said the Lord. But thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest. Now, and I know you're probably thinking, where is she going and how does she get feeling unappreciated? Well, Baruch, remember him? He was the guy who wrote for Jeremiah as God gave Jeremiah what to say to the children of Israel. Well, in chapter 45, Baruch is complaining that all he did was not appreciated. He tells Jeremiah that he is grieved, sorrowful, cannot rest. And at this point, he is having a pity party. Now, and it's all because he feels he should have been given special recognition. On occasion, while writing at the dictation of Jeremiah, Jeremiah warned him that his ambition should not be gratified. So in other words, this is not about you. We must be careful not to let the work we do for God make us feel that it is about us. We cannot take it as though we need to be praised for it. Now, every man has his place in the eternal plan of heaven. Now, that place depends upon our own faithfulness and cooperation with God. We should never feel that we should be esteemed or that our efforts are not appreciated. The Lord has no place for workers who feel it's more about the crown than it is the cross. A humble worker is more valuable to Christ, so don't complain if you feel you are not esteemed as you should be, that your efforts are not appreciated. Quiet down those thoughts, because Satan has a way of taking you places where you don't want to go. Christ went to Calvary, and half of the world won't even accept the work he did in the saving of souls. Baruch got his mission messed up. He thought it was about him being recognized, wanting something that was never in God's plan to give. The story was about the prophet Jeremiah. Oftentimes, God will use others to assist the prophet's call, and God treasures all that will work for him. So with that being said, be careful of thinking that the work that you are doing is about you. You should never think that you should be at center and forefront. In our mission, and yes, God does appreciate the work that we do. God calls ministers to work. And then he uses the elders and the deacons and the lay people to assist the minister, but the minister at that time is at the forefront. He calls us to spread the word for the saving of souls, warning people, comforting those that are ill or hurt. Baruch was told to give a message, a warning of loss, and warning he lost his way for a minute. But God told Jeremiah to assure him his work was not in vain. And you can read that in the book of Jeremiah at your leisure, because you have to understand what led up to chapter 45 and to understand what happened with Baruch there. You know, speaking of Baruch, he reminds me of the story of Jonah and how he felt that his mission, he thought God had his mission and it was all about him, but it wasn't. It was about warning the subjects of Nineveh. And he was very upset about the outcome. And God had to let him know, wait a minute, this mission wasn't about you. We must be humble when we are working for God. And always remember, it is about the cross, not the crown. So be careful in how you respond to the work that God gives us to do. Please don't lose your way or lose your focus. Thank you again for allowing me to come before you to talk about feeling unappreciated.